Welcome to Truck You Podcast. My name is Sebastian. This podcast is all about trucking. We love diesel engines, semi-trucks, being on the road, and freedom. So let's go. All right, welcome to Truck You Podcast. My name is Sebastian. Today, my special guest is Andy Willerton. How are you doing, Andy? Andy, the Kenworth Guy, right?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I appreciate you taking the time and chatting with me. I know I sent you an email like, hey, I like what you're doing, and I wanted to kind of pick your brain on what it is that you do. And so if you could give me, Andy, a little bit of a quick intro, maybe what you do, what your position is, what your role is, and where you're at.
Cool. So Sebastian, I'm Andy Willerton. I'm a truck sales guy based out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada here. I've been selling trucks since 2005. So like coming up on 18 years here, just around the corner. For the last 4 or 5 years, I've been doing, maybe even longer than that. I haven't even kept track, but I've been doing social media, the Kenworth Guy, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, social media platform, if you will. So doing that, just kind of showcasing different trucks that I'm selling and designing for customers. So that's a really short synopsis on kind of what I do. But basically, to put it in layman's term, I'm a truck sales guy, but I feel like I do a lot more than just that. So.
Yeah, you definitely do. Tell me, how did you get into truck sales or in the truck selling? Because how long ago did you start?
So, like I say, I started in 2005 as a sales guy. A little bit about my history. So, my dad, Dean, he's been trucking since the early 80s. Been in the trucking industry, and then in the mid 80s he got into coming to work for the Kenworth dealership in Winnipeg here, which was at the time called Custom Truck Sales. When he was working here for years and years, I was hired on to sweep the yard, pick up garbage, and kind of keep the showroom looking nice and clean, like as a 10 and 11-year-old kid. So I've been kind of around trucks my whole life, around Kenworth trucks my whole life, between my dad driving Kenworth, working at Kenworth, and then, like I said, in 2005, opportunity was presented to me to come and work here when I was in my early 20s. And so here I am, almost 18 years later.
Wow.
Doing this still. So yeah,
that's impressive. 18 years of selling trucks. Then that's you have to know your industry in and out. Then, huh?
Yeah, you got to know what you're talking about. It's not. You got to be knowledgeable, and you got to know your product, and have answers for your customers when they're looking for something, and not. It's not just as simple as a customer coming in saying, "Hey, I want to buy a truck." You got to really dive into all the specifics. Yesterday, I was with a customer for about 4 hours in my office, speccing and designing a day cab, how they want to have it come in for their farm. And, it's a process. It's like custom ordering a house or anything like that. Like it's more than what a person would think.
Yeah. Tell me about the beginnings.
And you gotta know your stuff.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Like, tell me about your beginnings, because obviously, since you grew up around trucks, you knew something, right? But how long did it take you when you started to kind of be like, okay, now I'm confident in specs and, rear end ratios or transmissions or whatever that took? Like, how was that beginning?
Oh boy. Lots of mistakes.
Yeah.
I've ordered trucks wrong color. I've ordered trucks with the wrong ratios. I've made a lot of mistakes, but and you're constantly learning all the time in this industry, and even still every day, like new alternative fuels and battery electric, and like they're kind of, that's the big push right now, and lots of knowledge about that. But when I first started, it was just lots of reading of Kenworth information, or Cummins or Caterpillar at the time, learning about engines, learning about transmissions, just lots of reading, talking to customers, asking lots of questions, saying, I don't know, but I'll find out. And, looking into things and getting answers. And then just over the years, you kind of compile all that stuff in your head, and then you kind of know it. So you can, at this point, I can kind of say some things off the top of my head about a spec, but that's because I have all the, experience in how to build a truck.
Have you had any training from the dealership? They provided, or was it all just you learning?
Oh no, yeah. So I should elaborate on that. So between when I first started here, it was just a lot of binders and reading. But like I've been sent to Montreal for training at our medium duty plant. I've been to Atlanta, Georgia for used truck training when I first started. Ohio to our plants over there. Seattle, I've been to the plants there for different training about just applications of how the trucks are built. Learning a little bit about the process, but now with internet and everything, Kenworth has moved a lot of their training modules online. So videos or questionnaires that you kind of have to go through and learn. So there's that you kind of do consistent ongoing training. So you and as a dealer, we have to kind of maintain certain levels of staff being trained to a certain standard to kind of be in Kenworth's good books, if you will.
Yeah, so you don't have to travel now for training, right? It's just all online based.
A lot of there's still some training, in class training, which is always fun. But like obviously the last couple of years with COVID and travel restrictions and all that kind of stuff, that really put a stop to a lot of that. But hey, like how we're doing this podcast here right now, like COVID taught us about Zoom and doing all this, connecting people all over the world. So like we have a monthly Kenworth webcast where we're taught about new products that are coming out, and it's got like 500-600 people on the call and presenters. So it's definitely the way that the world has kind of shifted. I've even spec'd trucks for customers and teaching customers about their truck that they're building over whether it be Zoom or Teams or FaceTime. It's sharing your screen so you can see what's going on. But yeah, it's education. It's a big part of the trucking industry. You'd be surprised. Like there's so much to know.
I'm with you on that. I know people usually think very linear about trucking, right? And I tend to talk to owner operators, fleet owners, business owners, and it's the emissions, it's the new technology that's being implemented in the trucking industry that you need to nonstop revisit and learn. And what I was going to ask you is like, what the training that you've experienced over the years, how do you what is it? Would you be able to pinpoint what it's maybe what the training is about? What I'm trying to see if is it with emphasis on emissions? Is it emphasis on what they're doing with engines? Because I think Kenworth do you guys still put Cummins engines up there in Canada?
Yeah, Cummins and the PACCAR engine are the two engine for the bigger block that we would put in, and then in our smaller medium duty trucks, it's a PACCAR medium duty engine that is in partnership with Cummins to bring the engine to market. But and then we also have alternative fuels, which is kind of new, liquid natural gas. Well, it's not new, but it's the topic to be brought up nowadays by industry wide, it seems.
Yeah, as alternative to diesel. Yeah. So is there anything in that training, I don't know if I'm digging correctly here, but is there anything in the training that you've observed is a trend, maybe? You know what I mean? Like, are emissions a big part of it? Because I know PACCAR is the home platform for Kenworth, right? And there's been a decent amount of changes over the years, obviously. What is give me like a macro of like what trainings usually is about for you guys.
So, there's new things that will come to market. So like, are you wanting to know like what, like as far as training, like what's the process or what are we trained about or
Like
what, like help
because
me understand your question there.
so if you've been in the industry for so long, and I want to just base it on you, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what's coming up now that I need to train myself and really, oh, like I didn't know that, like some of the new stuff that you're surprised with is probably what I'm looking for, because you've been doing it for a long time. Like how many times can you
Yeah.
be trained by transmission engine combo? What's more efficient? You know what I mean? That type of thing.
Yeah, so there's like different levels of training that you go through. Like truck basics is kind of like the introduction to the trucking industry for like a brand new, like we just hired a new sales guy, 23 years old, new to the trucking industry, doesn't know anything. So he's got to go through all like the truck basics, like mechanics of it and understanding weight distribution and gearing and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of training that goes on nowadays on different models that come out, there's an expectation or understanding that everybody that's going through the training, anything that's coming out that new, has a basic understanding of all of the basics, right? It's going to school, you don't need to learn how to walk or to hold a pencil because you kind of have an understanding that you know how to do that. Whatever, there's a new technology coming out, whether it be battery electric, whether it be liquid natural gas, hydrogen. Then you also have other things like lane keeping technology. Like Bendix makes a product that has a radar on the front of the bumper with cameras and radars on the side of the truck to kind of hold the truck in the lane or give you warnings if you're kind of going over a line. So there's new developments in technology that will come out, and so we'll learn about that. We'll get trained on new things that are coming out. Kenworth just recently released digital mirrors on the side of the truck. So there's basically cameras with screens inside the truck to kind of show what's going around. You'll have a 5-10 minute training module on some of the new technology or new items that are coming out. But as far as like truck basics, that's kind of in your infancy when you're learning how to get into truck sales. You learn all the truck basics and the mechanics of it.
Andy, so tell me more about you. You mentioned you build trucks for customers. Do you also do custom builds? Is it just specs for new fleets and owner operators, or do you also do custom work?
Well, a big part about what I do is custom work. Maybe you've seen some of my work either on social media, YouTube. W9s are kind of a special truck to me. I even have my W9
Nice.
my W9
Oh, nice.
shirt on here today.
Did you make that? Is that your shirt for your?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's my shirt, my
Awesome.
design. But anyhow, so as far as custom builds, like I'll do a lot of fleets, but a lot of what I do is owner operators. That's kind of something that I have always really enjoyed doing, working with lots of different people from different walks of life, having different tastes and stuff. I get bored, and I like to keep things fresh and keep things moving, and not that building the same truck over and over again for a fleet is boring, but it's a lot of fun to put out different pieces of art, different types of trucks, custom paint designs. So, and even something as simple as like a gravel truck, sometimes I'll do like a custom build on a gravel truck. But every single truck that you build is customized. It is custom ordered. You pick every option, so you can customize it as much as you want, but it's with fleets, it's a lot of the same types of trucks over and over and over again, and you order 30 or 50 of them all at once. But the individual owner operator is something that's near and dear. I guess I really enjoy working with owner operators.
What do you see owner apps are into lately? What are they ordering?
Well, it depends on the application, but if it's get a lot of customers that want T680s, like our new next gen T680.
They're beautiful. They're such a great design. Mm-hmm.
I have one of the. No, it's not one of. It is the nicest T680 I've ever put out. I haven't done any posts on it yet, but I'm really, really excited for this one to come out in the next week or two. I'll probably be putting it up on my social media, so you have to stick around for that. But and that was for a fleet, but and the fleet owners told me, said this is the nicest truck he's ever ordered, that he's ever owned. So it's and he owns a whole bunch of place. So as far as T680s is very common. The W900 is also a very popular truck with a lot of my customers that I work with. So yeah, that's
majority
kind of too. But I do a ton of trucks. T880 day cabs are probably the number one truck that I would sell, and those are to like a lot of construction guys doing moving heavy equipment around. So, or hauling gravel or any farmers, stuff like that. So that's a very popular truck that I'll put out.
Yeah. What is the new Kenworth? If I'm an owner up, I'm going to come and spec a truck with you. Tell me, what is it going to cost me now? Like, let's say a nice W9. What's the price range?
Well, in Canada, we're a little different. We have a exchange factor that we have to work with, which fluctuates minute by minute, and sometimes we will see like a 10% decrease in our dollar, which will drive the price of the truck up 10 or 15%. It all depends on specs, but like I have trucks, over 300 grand Canadian. I have some trucks that are, under 300. But yeah, anywhere from 2 to 100, high hundreds to mid threes, so it's a big range, right? So it just depends on what the spec is going to be coming in at, but highest prices I've ever seen in my 18 years of working here.
It is. Have you seen those prices go down a little bit, or it's still holding tight?
No, the prices are still kind of holding where they are. Nothing really ever goes down over time. Everything kind of goes up, and we just saw a massive increase just based on limited supply of trucks and parts. So, and cost of manufacturing has gone up huge in the last year. So pricing is being affected by that.
Yeah, it stayed. But what I'm curious about is, because the pricing hasn't changed really on this, in the U.S. From what I've been observing lately. But what I've been hearing more, slots are opening up, right? Fleets are canceling their orders. So back in the day, you would wait a year or two for your order. Now it's like, hey, we have this opened up. Do you want it in the next few months? Have you seen that happen as well over there?
Myself personally, no, I haven't. Everything that I have for next year coming in is spoken for. Nobody's backing out because we can't get trucks. I have about 20% of what I have on my waiting list available to sell for next year. So like I have a giant waiting list of customers that want trucks, and I only was given about 20% of that waiting list to fulfill those orders. So it puts a lot of people still on the waiting list. So no trucks. So it's very challenging right now. I'm doing my best to look after my long-standing customers that have been with me for forever. So just try and look after those guys.
What's the wait now if I came into you right now and bought a truck?
Well, it depends on the model, depends on the engine that you wanted, and depends on what the allocation that I have for that. What I've been telling customers, I've been running a waiting list since August of 2021.
Yeah.
That's a huge waiting list, lots of customers on there. All I would say is I'd add you to the waiting list and see what happens. So as far as right now, I'll wait how long to get a truck in. If you're on my waiting list and, I could have a truck maybe middle of next year, but, for some customers, it's going to be 2024. If we get more allocation, if we don't get a lot of allocation in 2024, it could be the year after. 2025 could be like a year or two still. But what I tell customers is, let me get you down on my waiting list, because if you're on there and I get something, I'll be calling you.
Yeah.
But if you're not on the waiting list, I gotta look after guys that are on it. So that's kind of how I'm managing it personally.
Yeah, that's good. Andy, tell me how your YouTube and social media impacted what you do. How is that working out for you? You got 52,000 subs of last time I checked.
Yeah, it's grown a lot. It's kind of the last 6 or 8 months, it's kind of slowed down with the growth a bit, but I think I don't know why that is, but anyways, as far as the social media, it's definitely helped me connect with a lot more people, show customers and whether they're my customers or they buy elsewhere, what's possible, what can be done. And it's just my take on it, or my customers' take on it, depending on how they're designing the truck and working with me. Some customers let me run wild and make the truck how I feel is the way it should be done, or some customers want full control over it. But it's been a really fun ride, kind of showcasing things and kind of growing the Kenworth Guy social media platform in popularity. Sorry.
No worries.
Getting a call here. Just gonna.
Customer probably trying to get a truck. Like, hey, where's my truck, Andy? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's been a lot of fun growing the channel, and Instagram is like getting close to 20,000, and Facebook, and it's just fun to meet all sorts of people. I got guys from Australia. That's how you and I connected. You're down in Chicago. Connected with other guys within my inland corporation or other Kenworth dealers. Buddy down in Nebraska, Jeremy Stuckley. He's a new truck sales guy, but kind of sparked a friendship there. A guy down in Ohio, Josh Trokey. He's out of truck sales now, but it's neat, all the different people that I have been able to connect with. In the industry and around the world with it. That's and the customers too. Like that's got guys all across Canada that I've connected with. So it's really been fun.
Nice. What's your favorite? What's your favorite truck?
Well, is that even a question?
I know it's a Kenworth. I know. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I've heard this said once by another guy. He said, all the models are they're like my kids. I love them all equally. But the W9 is definitely one of my favorites, just because of the way that it can be customized, and the old school aspect of it, kind of all the nostalgia of the 70s and 80s that kind of our generation of guys are kind of holding on to, and it's really fun. But yeah, the W9 is my favorite.
Mine too. I gotta give it to you. And I have multiple times on the podcast, I said what is my favorite, and it's the W900A, the very old with the flat. No, those are one of my favorite. I've seen a custom build somewhere. I'm like, man, I fell in love with it. I'm like, that's one day I'm gonna get it. But I have a 78 International that I was gonna build and try to build it, and just don't have time at the shop right now. We're super busy. So, but I'm all about 70s, 80s, old, slow, super cool looking, patina trucks. That's what I'm about. Yes. But yeah, I understand.
There's a 1988 cab over K100E sitting in my showroom right now. I dropped a video on it yesterday.
I saw it. Tell me about that truck.
Yeah.
Whose truck is it? What's the story?
Local guy in Winnipeg here, bought the truck new from Kenworth, and he's owned it for 34 years. And he used it, worked it, and parked it for a while. And then he just spent a pile of money restoring it, painting it, just getting it up to speed. It looks like brand new, like it's showroom ready, the truck. So, like I said in the video that I put out, and you can check it out if you have. Well, you said you saw it, but for your viewers, check it out for sure. With the fact that we don't really have any stock trucks and nothing to really put in the showroom as far as stock units, a lot of the branches, a lot of the dealers in Manitoba are putting old custom cars or old trucks that are restored in their showrooms. And so we thought that's kind of a cool idea, and we wanted to participate in that. So just kind of giving a shout out to some of the old school truckers that are in the area here.
Yeah, the K100 Aerodyne, because it's a double sleeper, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Beautiful. I almost bought one a few years ago, and this guy wasn't asking a lot, but I didn't have a shop yet, and I just had my parking and growing my fleet, and then it's just like, you know what? I don't need another project, another toy. But now I regret it because they're holding their prices. They're not holding, but they even appreciate it. And he was asking like $19,000 for it. I'm like, it was a special edition. It was the I forgot the special edition that Kenworth had. It was the white, blue, and red.
The 007. No.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what was the special edition. They had a W900A and the K100 both in the same paint scheme. So people probably will comment and they will remind me. But I'm blanking on it right now.
I think I seen that picture somewhere. But that was before I was selling trucks and before I started kind of tapping into some of the old school stuff. Like that's still fairly new for me. But it's neat seeing some of the old stuff. That's for sure.
Yeah, I watched the video that you posted of the K100. I'm like, man, that's such a clean truck. It's amazing. Has that been restored?
I'm sorry.
Has it been restored or is it original? Yeah. It has been.
No. It's been restored. Yeah, like fresh paint on the cab and fresh paint on the frame and interior restored and yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's really nice.
Okay, Andy, tell me where people can find you and what's your website, your channel, all the good stuff, your Instagram.
So the easiest way to find me, if a guy wants to just learn everything about me, I've put a website out there. It's just thekenworthguy.com, and that basically gives you all the links to all the different channels. Some people like to be on social media. They're an Instagram person or they're a Facebook person or a TikTok person. I've made channels on all of the above. YouTube obviously is kind of my big channel that I try to pump. So just search up the Kenworth Guy and either on Google or your favorite browser is the best way, or just thekenworthguy.com, and yeah, that's how you can find me.
Awesome. Andy, thank you very much. Appreciate you for everything you do for the trucking industry all over, and the entertainment factor is amazing. So appreciate you for that. Keep trucking, and thank you guys for listening. Subscribe, share, and we'll talk to you soon.